Hey friends, I wanted to jump on today and just give you a quick little mini class on hot oils and what they are, some examples of some hot oils, and how to use them safely. I don't want you to be afraid or fearful of essential oils because the more you know, the more educated you are, and the more you use them responsibly, the more comfortable you're going to be using them and the more effective they're going to be because you know how to use them safely. So if you've ever heard of the term hot oils, maybe you know what that means, maybe you don't. So this doesn't mean like a high temperature oil, like a bubbling, warmed oil that you would use in a massage. It actually refers to how the essential oil creates a warming and a tingling sensation on the skin, and very often skin irritation. And so you just have to use precautions when you're using hot oils. So I'm going to be referring to my notes because I made a bunch of notes to make sure I don't leave anything out. So we're going to talk about some of the most common hot oils and how to use them safely so that you have confidence. So oils can be applied directly to the skin, the forearms, the chest and neck, the belly, temples, the back of your neck, down your back, bottom of your feet, really anywhere on your skin. Oils can be diffused, and some oils can be taken internally. But when you're dealing with hot oils and when you are applying them to your skin, you want to be diluting them appropriately in order to not cause a skin irritation. So these are some hot oils. We've got clove, cinnamon bark, lemongrass, oregano, thieves. These are both two different applications of thieves. Black pepper, ginger, thyme, and peppermint sometimes. So how would I use all of these oils? Cinnamon bark and clove are really good diluted. You often find them in, I said diluted, you do want to dilute them, diffused. You find them in holiday diffuser blends. Lemongrass is really good for sore muscles and ligaments. It's really good for respiratory support and also digestive support. Oregano and thieves are great for immune support. Black pepper and ginger are also good for digestive support, and black pepper is good for fatigue, muscle pain, and also because of the warming sensation it has, it's a really good bedroom oil. And then thyme is used for immune support, and peppermint is just used for a lot of things, so seasonal support, sore muscles, headaches, that kind of thing. And it has a cooling sensation. It's not technically a hot oil, but it has a cooling sensation, which is irritating to some people. So it can be included in this category. So these are some common hot oils, but if you're never sure if an oil is considered hot or not, you always want to just check the label. And on these little bottles, you've got to pull the label up, and it's going to tell you if it requires dilution. That's going to be a good clue that it's a hot oil. This is dilute 1 drop with 1 drop of carrier oil. And because the label is white, this actually means it's a vitality oil, which means it's approved by the FDA for internal use. And I always tell people, just do that as you feel comfortable or not. And there's also some oils that will cause some sensitivity if they're not properly diluted, but they're not considered a hot oil, so like frankincense, citrus oils, that kind of thing. But you always want to refer to the bottle because the bottle is going to tell you how to dilute your oils. And again, there's no need to be afraid. You just need to read the label and see how to dilute the oil. You do want to be careful that you are diluting appropriately, and so I always say maybe dilute a little more than you think you need to until you know for sure that you're not having a skin reaction. So one way to test your sensitivity to an oil is to take an oil that you need to use, dilute it appropriately. Oftentimes it's like a 1-to-4 ratio, so 1 drop of a hot oil to 4 drops of a carrier oil, and put it on your forearm, just a little patch of skin. Most skin reactions are going to happen within 5 to 10 minutes, but you do want to keep an eye on it for a couple hours just to make sure that there's no redness, swelling, a rash, burning sensation. Let's see, and let's talk about carrier oils real quick. So I've mentioned diluting with a carrier oil, and you might wonder what I mean by that. So basically, a carrier oil is a liquid lipid oil. So think a liquid coconut oil, olive oil, avocado oil, sweet almond oil, grapeseed oil, jojoba, that kind of thing. Young Living actually sells a vegetable oil complex. It's a blend of a bunch of different carrier oils, and you can buy that blend from Young Living directly. So when you go to test one of these oils or use one of these, you want to properly dilute. And then say you were to have a reaction, like you test a little bit on your skin and you were to have a reaction, you never want to wash it with water because that's just going to spread the oil and increase the reaction. You always want to use more carrier oil. So there was one time I was putting some cinnamon bark in my diffuser, and I unknowingly got some on my hand, and then just without thinking, I just swiped my hand across my face. Maybe I had an itch, maybe I had hair in my face, I don't know. All of a sudden I knew I had a red whelp on my face. The skin swelled up, it tightened, it was red, it was burning, kind of like a bad sunburn. And I knew immediately what I had done. As careful as I had been, I had gotten some of the cinnamon bark on my hand and I had touched my skin. And of course, your face is a very sensitive skin. So I just got some avocado, or no, it wasn't avocado. I got some coconut oil. I put it on a napkin and I just wiped my face. And almost immediately the reaction stopped because that carrier oil was removing the essential oil and calming the reaction. So if you ever have a reaction, just grab some more carrier oil and continue to wipe your skin, wipe the spot where the reaction is until the symptoms go away. And it's always a good idea to not use a hot oil in your bath. So we talk a lot about adding oils to your bath time routine, and I might do a class about that, just what kind of oils to use and how to use them safely. But you never want to use a hot oil. You always want to use a mild oil like lavender, and you always want to mix it with Epsom salt before you put it in your water. I'll do a little mini class on that too, so that you know more about that. But the takeaway from that is do not use a hot oil in your bath. Okay, and then another really great way to use hot oils is to diffuse them, because then you're not getting it directly on your skin and you're lessening the chance of a reaction. So again, cinnamon bark and clove are really good holiday blends. Mix it with a little bit of vanilla and maybe a tree oil like Idaho Grand Fir or balsam, that kind of thing. Peppermint is really good to diffuse if you are suffering from seasonal sniffles, that kind of thing. Thyme and oregano are really good for immune support as well as thieves, so we often diffuse. Why do I keep saying dilute when I mean diffuse? We often diffuse these when we are not feeling well. And another really great way to use thieves is you can buy it in a roller bottle that is already diluted. So if you wanted to apply thieves topically and make sure that you had it properly diluted, you could use it this way. And I will often put this on the back of my neck, the front of my neck. And another great way to use these oils topically, if you need to use them topically and you don't want to diffuse them, like for instance, I wouldn't necessarily want to diffuse ginger or thyme. It's not quite what I want my house to smell like. But you can put these oils on the bottom of your feet, because the bottom of your feet is really tough skin, and also the pores are very large. So it's going to be absorbed really quickly, and the toughness of the skin is not nearly as likely to react. So if you're unsure that you have diluted something appropriately, or if you just don't want to risk a skin irritation, put these oils in the bottom of your feet. put a pair of socks on, and your body will absorb it really quickly, and it will have the desired effect of helping your body. But you can always dilute these oils. Another really great way to diffuse. I said dilute again, didn't I? You can always diffuse these oils if you need them. Another great way, so say ginger is really good for digestion. If you don't want to apply it directly to your belly, diluted, you can just inhale it from the bottle, directly from the bottle. Again, this is a vitality oil, so you could put 1 drop of this in a vegetable capsule with a bunch of carrier oil and take it internally if you are having some real serious digestive problems or an upset stomach. That's what I would do. All right, so hot oils, what they are, how to use them, just dilute. Dilute them. Over dilute if you feel like you need to. You're not going to lessen the effect of the oil. You're just going to perhaps slow down its absorption a little bit so you get more of the effect of the oil, but you're not going to, it's not going to be less effective because you've diluted it more. And you're going to protect your skin. So appropriately dilute them, diffuse them, don't put them in your bath. Put them on the bottom of your feet, especially if you have children. I don't use any of these oils on my children with the exception of Thieves, which I will put on the bottom of their feet, and I will diffuse Thieves if they are ill. But the rest of these oils I don't use on my children because they are under 6. If you have a child who's 6 and over, I would just heavily dilute and put them on the bottom of the feet or diffuse them. So you don't have to be afraid of hot oils. You just need to know exactly how to use them so that you can do so with confidence and so that you can use these oils that are really so helpful in so many ways. We've found a lot of help through these oils. So I want to demystify it for you and give you the tools you need to use them comfortably.